was around 25 years ago when I first saw the Suzuki Katana. I was pretty impressed. One of my neighbors pulled up with the bike, and I was impressed by the noise of the engine, the 4 cylinders, and everything was looking very, very different, very futuristic on it. Nowadays I get to test one, and it's a very good feeling, because this bike over here is the new Suzuki Katana 2019. It's a rebirth of that super bike that used to be one of the top motorcycles back in the 80s. Everybody wished to buy that bike, and this is very nice from Suzuki to bring up these memories, and for me to get to ride it. So the new Katana, it's all about future and combining the performance of the engine and the looks of the old Katana with nice features, nice and modern features like LED headlight and also LCD dash. So it's very important that you have systems right now. You get the power of a Suzuki K5, the liter bike, the super bike that was very impressive. I think one of the best builds by Suzuki in matters of super bikes. That one was the first super bike to win everything and to blow up the competition with an immense power from that engine. So we have that engine, but the basis for this new Katana, it's the Suzuki JSXS 1000. So the donor bike was changed with new fairings, new gas tank, absolutely everything. It's redesigned, and it's a take it or leave it look, in my opinion, because you have to like it from the first moment. You have to fall in love with it in order to buy it. This is a bike that you cannot see it and fall in love with it by seeing it 10 times and then, I don't know, get to buy it. So it's a take it or leave it option. What's so impressive about this engine, it produces around 150 horsepower, which is very cool for a naked bike, and it offers a lot of punch. You can play with it, you can have a lot of fun with it actually. The position, the riding position, it's pretty engaging. You have a naked position, but when you go a bit in the front, you change everything. The bike kind of pulls you to push it, and it becomes a lot more fun. It becomes a lot more torquey. Everything switches very nice from a side to another. When you are seated, the handlebars are pretty close in the range. You don't have that much of a turning angle. It's like a sports bike, like a super bike. So in the city you might have some problems with that, because you don't have that angle needed in order to go in between cars, to switch lanes. You have to go back and forth a bit. So for me it was very annoying today, and I preferred to stay behind the cars and wait for the traffic to go on. Together with this position, you get a very good feeling from the suspension. It's a new suspension on the front. It's pretty sporty. It has a lot of adjustments on it. It feels a bit tough while riding a bit harder in the city. When you meet some bumps, you will feel it because it becomes jumpy. It's the whole load pushed to the front, so the front end, it's a bit loaded right now, but the rear reacts very nice. You get a lot of feeling from both of them. I don't think I dislike them, but I feel like pushing the bike. I feel it a bit stiff, and when I feel a bike like that, I have to push it, I have to rev it up, I have to ride it a bit faster. So this is not a bad thing at all. Very good brakes on this one. You have Brembo calipers on the front. You have a lot of bite from it. Everything is as should be. You get a feeling from the front brake. You have a master cylinder that it's new for this model, but reacts very good. No problems over there, no emotions. The bike stopped every time. In regards of electronic systems, on this bike you get a traction control and also ABS. You can switch off the traction control, or you can play with it in different modes. I felt the intervention today. In the morning it was a bit rainy. It was very useful, but it's an old school version of a traction control and ABS, because it measures the spinning of the wheel. It's not an inertial unit, but it does a very good job. The ABS cannot be switched off, but this is not a problem, because I think I made the 2 or 3 stoppies yesterday with this front brake, also with the ABS. So this is a very good and useful package for overall city riding and outside the city. Besides the traction control and the ABS, you have riding modes, and you also get this beautiful dash over here that comes from the bigger brother, the Suzuki JSXR 1000. It's not a TFT dash, it's an LCD. You get a lot of useful information compressed in this dash. You get the gear, you get the fuel consumption, even the battery charging level. There are a lot of useful informations over there. I don't feel the need for something more. The wind protection on this bike, it's close to naked. You won't get more than this. And if you choose to put a bigger windshield over there, I think you will ruin the looks, because this is how you should keep your Katana if you choose to buy one. The downside of this look, it's the fuel tank, for me actually, because now it can handle around 12 liters of gas. So with an engine like this, with the torque that you have around 150 horsepower, you feel the need to push the bike. So every time you want to make a trip outside the city, a longer trip, you should keep in mind to pour up some gasoline in this tank, because you won't get more than 150 kilometers range from a full tank. So this is pretty bad. Inside the city you won't have a problem because you have a lot of gas stations everywhere you go, but outside, for a guy that likes touring, this might be an annoying thing. One of my concerns when I first did the bike from the dealer was that I think I would have some issues with the throttle, because I remember riding the JSX 1000 and that bike was very snatchy. Every time you came up on the throttle, or just by rolling it very slowly, the bike was punchy. No problems with this one. It's very easy to use, very smooth. You get a lot of mid-range and low-range RPM torque, so this feels extraordinary while riding in the city. It's very helpful, and it's a very cool feature actually. Also, I have a big issue with Suzuki saddles, because I remember when riding for more miles, my back would hurt like insane. This is pretty comfortable. This saddle is pretty comfortable. You had a lot of room for your passenger over here. It's pretty comfortable to ride around 150, 180 kilometers. After that, you will need a brake, because although it seems pretty plush, you will get a sour bottom after riding. So let's go back to the looks, because I think this bike, it's all about this. You get this headlight, this square headlight on the front, which resembles the old Katana. You also get these lines over here from the gas tank to the front fairing that are exactly like a Katana swords. You get a lot of cool features, like a new thing for Suzuki, this rear mud guard that it's new for the Japanese manufacturer. It's not that helpful while riding on rain, because this morning I got a lot of dust on my saddle, but it looks very good because it has also the turn lights and the plate holder over there. So it cleans up the look of the saddle, the look of the rear end. It makes it more aggressive, it makes it a bit more racy, let's put it like that, because this rear end, it's very nice design, it has a very cool look. So Suzuki did a very cool thing by leaving it like this and allowing us to enjoy the lines of the bike. I'm pretty upset because unfortunately Suzuki didn't fit this bike, not even in the option list, with a quick shifter or an auto blipper. I would have wished to have one, because this bike feels like racy. You want to push it, you want to ride it very hard. The bike can do that. It has a lot of potential to ride, and I think it will be very cool to fit a quick shifter at least on this one. So for this whole package, for this Katana, for these letters over here and the sword, you pay actually around 14,300 euros, which is close to its competitors, but I have to remind you that the competitors are the Honda CB 1000 Neo Sports and also the Kawasaki Z900 RS, which is a bit cheaper. The Honda is pretty close as a price, but they tend to offer a bit more for this price than the Suzuki. It will be a very difficult job for the Katana to fight with competitors, because for example, the Neo Sports has some more optionals than this one over here, and I think you still have to get back to the roots and lift this bike from the first sight and buy it. Other than that, This machine is made for guys like me that are racers, that retire and want to buy the bike of their childhood, the bike that used to be their poster in their room as a child, and nowadays you get to buy it actually and ride it. It's very good machine. It's a very good machine, and it offers a very fair package, but we will still have to see how the market goes along. That's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one.